The Thunder comes off a loss, headed to a big game. I'm Barry Trammell along with Thunder writer Eric Horn. This is a Thunder update. And Eric, quite a weekend. Double overtime victory over Utah on Friday night, but then a discouraging loss to the Kings on Saturday night, all in advance of a big game Tuesday night in Denver against the Nuggets, who have been leading the Thunder most of this season.
Big time week coming up for the Thunder. Big time weekend for the Thunder that just passed. You know, they let one slip away against Sacramento. They frankly probably should have won the Sacramento game more than they should have won the Utah game, but you get some Paul George heroics against Utah. You get some Thunder slippage against Sacramento, who they struggle to defend. And now you got a situation where you're going into a big week with Denver, with the Sixers at home, and then a big road game against San Antonio to close the week. So this is a big one for the Thunder this week as they gear up for the playoffs. Can
you write off that Sacramento game Saturday just on fatigue? Double overtime, late game, ends about 11:38 p.m. Friday. You turn around and have to play at 7 o'clock Saturday. Was that just a case of hard to come back from a double overtime, almost midnight game?
That's some of it. You know, Paul George had probably one of his worst games of the season, certainly his worst shooting game, 4 of 19, that he's had for more than a month. But at the same time, the Utah team that plays double overtime, they go home and they beat Dallas at home on the second night of a back-to-back. So really, you know, Paul George said it, like, it's not an excuse. These guys played a ton of minutes. Everybody in the league plays a ton of minutes. The Thunder should have been a team that could have closed out the Sacramento team that they needed to have a win against. The Thunder needs to win these games against the mediocre, like middle-of-the-range teams because their schedule's the toughest in the NBA down the stretch. I just ran through the schedule for this week coming up. Those are all playoff teams that are in playoff contention. Denver, second best team in the West, one of the best teams in the league. The Thunder's already down 2-0 in the season series to Denver. So they got to have those games against the Sacramentos of the world, and they're putting themselves in a tough spot when it comes to the Western Conference standings.
How important is this game Tuesday night in Denver? The Thunder now 3 games behind the Nuggets. If you lose here, you're 4 back and will have lost the tiebreaker in terms of head-to-head with the Nuggets. Makes you really 4.5 back. What do you think? How big is this game Tuesday night?
It's big for a lot of reasons. I think it's big for the Thunder's psyche when it comes to playing Denver, a team that they may have to meet in the postseason. It's big for home court advantage when it comes to the postseason. If the Thunder were to get out of a first-round series, Denver would have the home court advantage in a second-round series as that 2 seed. It's big for the regular season standings. The Thunder still has a chance to jump Denver for the number 2 seed in the Western Conference if they continue to play well, keep up with Denver's pace. But Denver's a tough team, doesn't look like they're giving any ground. And it's good for the season series overall. The Thunder's down 2-0, as I said. They've got 2 more games remaining against Denver. If they can win those last 2 games, they give themselves a puncher's chance of being able to win any tiebreakers with Denver. Now, that's going to come down to division record, conference record. Those are also things that Denver has an advantage over the Thunder. But Thunder has to elevate its play down the stretch if it wants any chance of getting that number 2 seed in the Western Conference.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Eric. We will be in Denver bringing you all the coverage. Stay tuned for further Thunder coverage here on News OK and every day in the Oklahoman.